Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear how this story hits you. It began with a simple text. She said, "I'm staying at my parents' tonight. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow." First, I believed her. I trusted her. But something in her tone, soft, almost evasive, made my chest tighten. I tried to shake it off. Maybe I was overthinking, I told myself. Maybe it was just stress from work or family obligations. That night I went about my routine, pouring a glass of wine, thinking about the mundane details of our lives. But my phone kept buzzing with missed notifications. A lingering unease settled in the pit of my stomach. She wasn't the type to ignore messages. By midnight, the unease became unbearable. I called her once, twice. No answer. I left a message trying not to sound desperate. "Hope everything's okay. Call me when you can." The next morning before she returned, I got an unexpected call from her mother. "Hi," she said, voice hesitant. I think you should know something." My heart sank. Something. That word alone carried more weight than anything I had ever felt. "I'm listening," I said, trying to steady my voice. "She's not at our house," her mother admitted, almost in a whisper. I don't want to lie to you. She went somewhere else last night." "I didn't think she'd tell you." A wave of disbelief hit me. My mind raced. "Not at their house? Where? Why? Where?" I asked, my voice trembling. Her mother sighed, hesitant. I think she was with someone else. I didn't see everything, but the messages I caught. "I'm sorry." The words were like a punch to the chest. I felt my knees weaken, my stomach drop. The life I had believed in, the life I thought we shared, suddenly felt like a fragile illusion. I tried to tell myself it couldn't be true. She had always been honest with me, or so I thought. I went over the last few weeks in my mind. The little signs I had ignored. The late nights, the sudden secrecy with her phone. The way she seemed distant when I asked about her day. I remembered laughing with her at breakfast, touching her hand, feeling warmth, and realizing now it had all been layered with deception. I confronted her when she returned home. She walked in, smiling nervously, carrying groceries like nothing had happened. "Morning," she said lightly, unaware that my world had already shifted. "Where were you last night?" I asked, keeping my voice calm but low. She froze, eyes widening. I told you, at my parents'." I let her finish, then said quietly, "No, you weren't. I talked to your mother." The smile faltered. Her hands trembled slightly as she set the bags down. I can explain," she whispered. I listened. She spoke quickly, trying to justify herself, saying it was a mistake, a lapse in judgment, that it meant nothing. I wanted to scream, to shake her until the words were real. But I didn't. I just stood there, listening, feeling the crushing weight of betrayal settle over me like a storm. In the days that followed, the house felt empty, even when she was there. The small moments we once shared, the morning coffee, the way she laughed at my jokes, the casual brush of hands, suddenly carried an edge of disbelief. I questioned everything. What else had been a lie? What memories were genuine? I started noticing subtle things I hadn't before. The phone she left behind when she rushed to the bathroom, the lingering scent of perfume that wasn't hers, the hurried explanations for mundane events. I questioned myself constantly. Was I imagining this? Had I driven her away somehow? But deep down, the truth had already settled. One evening, I accidentally saw a message she had left open on her tablet. "Last night was perfect. I can't wait to do it again." My hands shook. The betrayal was no longer abstract. It was concrete, undeniable. I felt a mix of rage, heartbreak, and crushing sadness. I confronted her again, this time with the evidence. The look in her eyes was a mix of guilt and fear. And I realized something important. She wasn't a villain in a story. She was human. She had made a choice, and I had to decide how I would respond. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I just let the weight of the truth sink in. We sat across from each other in silence, the air heavy with what had been lost. I realized that love wasn't enough to fix this. Trust had been broken, and some fractures can never fully heal. Eventually, I made a choice. I decided to leave. Not out of spite, not to punish her, but to protect myself. I packed my things, removed myself from the home that now felt like a lie. and stepped into the world with nothing but my own integrity intact. In the weeks that followed, I reflected on everything. I remembered the laughter, the late-night conversations, the way she had held me during storms. I acknowledged that some of those memories were real, but others were layered with deceit. Accepting that truth was painful, but it allowed me to start rebuilding. I reconnected with friends I had neglected, focused on work, and began trusting myself again. I learned that betrayal doesn't define you. Your response does. By letting go, I found a quiet strength I hadn't known existed. The heartbreak didn't disappear, but I carried it differently, as a reminder of what I deserve, and as a lesson in self-respect. I'll never forget the moment her mother told me the truth. It was devastating, yes, but it also became the catalyst for change. I learned that silence, reflection, and measured action can carry more power than anger. I learned that some relationships end not with shouting, but with quiet acknowledgement and the courage to walk away. Life hasn't been easy since that night. Some mornings, the memory of her smile still stings. But I've learned to cherish the life I still have, to protect my heart, and to trust myself first. Betrayal is painful, but it can also be a mirror, showing you who you were, who you've become, and who you need to be to move forward. I don't know where she is now. I don't know if she regrets what she did. And honestly, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I survived, that I reclaimed my life, and that I finally learned to trust the only person who truly deserved it, myself.